So the World Cup is on. I'm not allowed in. It's just a pain, Morgan Freeman and true unity. I can't even do it, I can't even reach those solid planes. All these lovely words, put together in these sentences that sound great. And if hope is a meaning for truth, then truth will be our preserving hope for the truth of the. And it gives you diarrhea. It gives me diarrhea, but it doesn't fix anything. It just always pisses me off. I just come out and say something horribly absurd, like, God might stop caring, and then you're gonna fucking realize God might just stop caring altogether if you keep pushing it. And then you're fucked. F-U-C-K. Anyway, this is why I'm not on TV. This is why I'm on YouTube, and this is why why I am giving my best teachings here instead of like on the Graham Norton show where I'd like to be, getting it all out in the air, just wafting it all out, getting it all out. Graham Norton is great. Graham Norton is great. I love Graham Norton. What I love about Graham Norton is a gay man that grew up in Ireland. Okay, so he's gone through a lot of emotions and he's gone through a lot of stuff, and he's gone through that. And most also gay people have gone through all these stresses and these things and these. So they know better than you. They know much better than most people on a lot of stresses and psychology and selfhood and things like this. And Graham gets all these celebrities on the show all the time, and he's kind of like nursing them and walking them through all their problems and insecurities in life. And it's like, yes, talk to the gay man. Yes, the gay man knows your troubles. Yes, the gay man's been through this. Yes, I know how to deal with this very eloquently. He's fucking brilliant, and he deals with everything. He's helping everybody else. Work it out. Just to work it out. Help everybody to get to it. But you're beyond the forest now. You're beyond the woods now. I'll get you there. Oh, we've been here. We know how to get you through. Speeches that are effective. Get it all out there. Football. You can talk a bit about football. I know a bit about football. The Queen of Ireland and all this, and it's very religious, but anciently religious, but historically. But you see this in the stadiums. My brother's a massive Man United supporter, and you see this in the stadiums. Football is religion, and it's not wrong. I'm very well-educated theological philosopher. Yeah. I'll show you my credentials, baby. Right there. No, I'm gonna miss them. Ask me for some collateral. Football is religion, easily, big time. Anything that brings people together is religion. And you see a lot of firms and stuff getting violent and hostile, and that comes about religion, doesn't it? A lot of firms and a lot of this and that, religious war, because it is religion. It brings people together. Music, big time. Religion, massively so. Anything that brings people together over common unity is why you ought to teach mathematics to neglected nations. And you're like, what's the point in teaching these kids maths? Big time. Maths is harmony of the spirit and soul and necessary a priori quantities and qualities. And you share these with people. You share a common religion, spirit of understanding with people. Arbitrarily in mathematics, something like mathematics. It's very agreeable, mathematics. Well, I know a lot more about maths than even the mathematicians, and it's terrible, really, or the things they talk about. But anyway, so it is religion. Anything's religion. Playing guitar, religion. Smoking marijuana or drinking in a public house and getting drunk together is religion. They're bringing people together. Now, holy religion is something different altogether. Religion, Religion is to come together. Religion is to come together. So religion's somewhat connotes the fact that you were all together at one point, you all fell apart, and religion is to do with bringing it all back together. And it'd be a boiling pot, and it'd be twisting in between. But that's what religion is, coming back together again. So anything that brings people back together, mutuality, teaching African kids mathematics, anything that brings people back to unity and mutual understandings. The more necessary and a priori, kind of the better, because you won't be fighting over them. So maths is like a very good religion, and it's really Pythagoras, a very holy and devoted person who really thought that maths was extremely religious. And religions or Pythagoras. So things that bring people. So holy religion, it was a different topic altogether, and it's a weird topic because, so holy religion you see in like Thales, or you see in like in these ancient Greek philosophers, all trying to find. And most people are, as I noticed, it's human dogma, like the capacity, your mind to, for some reason, always wants to culminate and categorize stuff into these massive tiny sentences. I don't like this, and I'm not one that does this. And culminate everything in a very absolute sentence and try and get everything. It's a very dogmatic extension of the will to categorize and give something like a name, like a flower, this, or give this, to trying to make some ultimate categorization. And it's a very dogmatic and silly, weird thing to do, to find some ultimate dog. You know, I'm not going to brag on Billy Corgan, he's only writing pop lyrics, but you know, you got these good. And if God is just a thing, love is just a friend, and if it's very syllogistic. Let me drag on Billy, sorry. Let me drag Billy. Look, Billy. Look at my fucking guitar. Like, you know, Billy Cast. Anyway, I'm off topic. So holy religion. As I was saying, Thales said like water. You know, people are like fire. Some people are like air. People are like, what do plants need to grow? What does life need? And some people are like light and water and air. And they were mixing between these and ethers, and it's a very these are notions of holy religion, basically. Everybody needs water. Everybody needs air. Everybody needs sunlight. So these were notions of absolute holy religion come from. Holy religion. And then scientists are going to kind of say the point of holy religion is some sort of physical, original Big Bang that we all shared together and grew out of. So that's their physical and phenomenological assumption of what holy religion would be. The point where everything was in one sum. Was the whole universe was in some hot, dense state. And 40 million years ago, Neanderthals, wait, or something. Expansion started. Yeah, it's stupid. It's so fucking. I hate scientists. You know, I'm an amazing phenomenologist. You know, can't teach philosophy. I just can't stand scientists. They're very illiterate. They're extremely illiterate, and it actually is a problem of literacy in most cases of scientific assumption of their categories and their their ability to speak and compute things, communicate. Great myself here. So holy religion are things that everybody kind of shares in common. And this is where you get tangents going towards absolute creator, if not absolute physical origin, absolute something, absolute intelligence. You know, I'm not going to go into it, but anyway, I'm just a sign maker. I'm just kind of guiding you off in the general direction of what holy religion is. Not everybody's a Man United fan. Not everybody's a Smashing Pumpkins. Motherfucker stole my career. It might be interesting, I don't know. Time and space and scientists and all might be listening to this. You know, I knew the world needed a band, like a high-powered fuzz band with melodic riffs and crazy fucking solos and shit. Let's send that. And the skip from school. with my bro. He's my bro. He came here talking about him in any way. He's a very gentleman. But anyway, he put on Euphoria where we're all skipping school, smoking bongs in his mum's house. And yeah, it was the opening track of Euphoria. It was just quiet. And I was just like, motherfucker stole my career. That's what Billy says about it. Motherfucker stole my wife. Motherfucker stole my guitar scene. I don't get them started. Yeah, but the instant I decided Smashing Pumpkins, I was like, there's no point. It's already been done. I was like, I just can't say, may as well give up now. It's already been done. Humbly had to sit back and watch Corgan do his thing. And the solo was just off the wall, like the first time I heard them, and it was the quiet solo. Corgan with his organ sounding guitar. So yeah, I didn't know what to do, stay there smoking bongs or go back to school. I'm pretty sure I probably went back to school really stoned and probably just tried to put a bit more effort into that kind of life. Now smoking bongs. I think I eventually completely stole that CD off my friend and it got trashed and destroyed and it never got back to him. Because I wanted it so much. Sorry, Lord. Right, my friend. Sorry. Bollocks. More. No. Yeah, all my friends are fit for a Lord. They're fucking heroes. That was a side note, wasn't it? About pumpkins. Time travel. Would I still be here today if I didn't see Smashing Pumpkins DVD? You wouldn't have broke that fast if I didn't tell you about breaking the vase. Never mind, friends. It's where the name comes from. Smashing Pumpkins. Pumpkins. I have a little nephew now, but the strange delight that's found in destruction. And God is all harmonious, and even a child is very young and gentile, but there's some weird, strange delight in smashing pumpkins. And a pumpkin is amazing. It's a beautiful organ. It's a beautiful thing. You could feed families. You could grow fields of pumpkins. You could live off pumpkin soup forever. And pumpkins are really cool, amazing things. But there's still some delight in smashing pumpkins. The destruction. What am I talking about? Birth. Oh yeah. Holy religion. Yeah, well, I talked about the pumpkin, so I'll talk about Man United as well. So there was a woman that was like the mother of Jesus, or is illegitimately married by the Vatican or gypsies, females that they married to. They ran away. They probably got to somewhere around Manchester. I'm not messing around Manchester. Around that area, Manchester, Liverpool. They didn't get to Ireland. It was like a fallout place, but they were definitely, maybe. Thinking of voices there. In this region, and they welcomed them and protected them. And knew where the lamb was. It's a very important thing. It's the most amazing thing that they actually protected him, because it would have gone to very exploitable people. But anyway, they protected them. And I'm pretty sure this female council of this lady, or mother even, or auntie, or anyone that was directly related to Jesus, that was protected out this way in Hibernia. I'm not going to say invented, but devised sports as means of competition to settle disputes between the angry men and things. And football was invented by a woman who wanted men to fix disputes in non-fatal way. You kick your balls around the field until you figure it out. You see this on first night. You see some Aryan princess kind of hidden off in, and she's playing this weird old type of football before she kind of gets, taken away. Aryan kind of princess. Yeah, that's like that football comes from the beautiful game. And it's interesting to me because you're getting on to this point now when there's like drones versus drones, and everybody's just going to be going to drones and satellites and drones, and everybody's going to be in a drone-proof bunker with drones. I say, would you not just play Battlefield or chess? If it's so arbitrary, your military's got so impersonal and arbitrary anyway that you're just using drones against drones. Which is not just play Battlefield or chess or have some sort of mutually devised Olympics where like Russia sends its best boxer and Ukraine sends its best boxer and you let them just kill each other rather than like hundreds of people die. They used to do this, you know what I mean? Have your best man versus my best man or something like this. And it's probably very Russian, so they seem to want to sort it out their way. I've noticed this about everybody trying to advise them, and they seem to want to sort it out their way. Leave the bears alone. Yes, religion. And like they have the table wine in France and things. They have the table wine. We don't have table wine in Ireland, but some countries have wine on the table. Wine on the table. But they deserve it. They deserve to have wine on their table. Yep. Beer should be. Bread is there being the beer. It's probably hard to keep a table beer. The tablecloth. The red and white tablecloth, and some men of great honour and dignity wear it on their heads. The beautiful pattern of the red and white, as we're started in the World Cup or Qatar, we're ending in the World Cup winter. And some people are wear this beautiful cloth, and you might look at them and you might say, well, you've got a tablecloth on your head, and they might laugh. And say, then yes, it's exactly, it's a tablecloth. Tablecloth, yes. Keep on your table, things you keep on your table. What do you keep on your table? Some people peppercorns, some people keep salt. Evol, ole. Some people keep black duct tape. Some people what do you put on your tablecloth? Yeah. I am one fan of, I'm going to mention about the guitar thing, and the lack of alcohol, you know what I mean? Football, what's going on? This is great, I like this idea. And I really think you ought to have fueled this idea in a Qatar of the no alcohol thing, and just have, like, you know what I mean, the most spectacular abundance of drinks. I mean, the most spectacular abundance, like, the way you go big time, have the most spectacular abundance of drinks, non-alcoholic, but the most amazing shandies and botanicals and these amazing, and coffees and all the teas and all the things and all this, maybe slushies and stuff. We have an amazing, bountiful variety of drinks available. And they really put it into context, isn't it? It's like, oh, there's no alcohol. I was like, but there was so much more. Like there was no booze. And I was like, I thought it was great. I felt wonderful after my fruit smoothie. I felt in great form, and my belly felt great. It might be interesting. It might change a lot of lives. You know, a lot of people might go home and say, stop drinking beer and Stella Artois all the time. Fruit smoothies. Yeah. So that might be interesting. I'd like for people to walk away with a nice happy memory of this and being a non-alcoholic World Cup. And it went amazing. Like there was so much more than booze. So much more. Then those lads going, another lager. Right. Yeah, so I'm happy World Cup. I have no predictions. I don't even know who's in it. Ceremony was okay. I like the way they sang in lots of different people's things. I'm watching it with my mother. Germany are in there, but I don't know. I think France are in there. Someone like Brazil's going to win it for some reason. Ecuador maybe. I don't know. I think it's Brazil, South American. Argentina might be in there as well. I think they might have it. I don't even know England or anything. It's kind of offset. It doesn't feel like the World Cup. Yeah, Holy Religion football's coming up. Arbitrary warfare. You know, you could, and they could figure it out in football because it is a beautiful game. That is why it is beautiful. It was meant, originally designed to solve disputes. So it's like saying you could just play Battlefield, you could just play chess. And I did notice, aptly as I am, that the European Cup in Ireland, actually, the European Cup, the most recent European Cup that I saw, had very honest teams. Like the Irish team was very Irish, and the French team was very French, and that just caught my interest in, essentially at the beginning, that they had this very nationally explicit kind of thing going on. And then I realised there was a lot of Islamic versus Christian teams. Not generally speaking or explicitly speaking, but I noticed. And I was like, this looks like some really graceful competition of general authenticity of rulership or validity, whatever, through the beautiful game in Europe. And I thought it was really interesting. And it ended up with, as you would think, between England and the Vatican, between England and Rome. Of course, France are like the Vatican, you know, I mean, in some sort of way, but like it ended up between England and Italy. And again, the penalties, I gave up. I didn't care. I just walked away. And that was England won by, Italy won by the penalties. And it's interesting that it just blatantly unfold somewhat. Well, the ultimatum of the event that it's between England and Rome, which is like one of the main European Christian sporias for conflicts. I'm not sure, you know how to say it, but between Hibernia or the Vatican. I'd be with Jerusalem or somewhere, wherever it is. I'm joking. But yeah, it was interesting the way it broke down, and it did break down explicitly the way it is. It was like it's Rome, England, Rome, Italy, and then kind of like England next. Yeah, it was just interesting. I wanted somebody to just turn around to some colleague in Islam, and Islam are trying to reason the fact they should like own everything and rule everything, which is a pretty good argument, you know, the way Islam should just be everywhere. And they're like, oh, we sorted this out with the beautiful game, and we do this. And I think they kind of want to devise that European Cup around the beautiful game, because it was very weird and national. It's beautiful game. My brother brother's a really good football player. Like, you know, and I knew lots of really good football players. It's weird, you know. But he's a really good footballer. Doesn't, like most footballers, because they're good at it, they don't care about it. I used to watch him with his friend, and they were like psychic the way they work together, work around people who were working. He's gonna be on here soon. I'm getting him over. He's legit Wu-Tang, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have a fully paid endorsement. That's all I want for Christmas. What have I finished? Holy Religion, football, and